Now, this picture here, can you believe that this was caused by a chicken bone in what was supposed to be boneless wings?
All right, so 8 years ago, that Hamilton man stopped by a restaurant and ordered boneless chicken wings, and then a bone got lodged in his throat.
He sued the restaurant, and his case made it all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court, where the justices ruled against him.
Brady Williams joins us live after speaking with him and a lawmaker who's getting involved as well.
Mike Berkheimer's wife actually told us today something very painful, which is that this has ruined her husband's life. This isn't a simple case of choking. It punctured him. It nearly killed him. This is something that's going to cause effects on his body and his mind for the rest of his life, and now he's out of ways to find compensation for it. It's the way that this case was handled that now has lawmakers looking to make some changes.
I have to live my life the way, it's the best I can. I mean,
Mike Berkheimer says 8 years ago he was happy and healthy. He stopped at Wings on Brookwood and he ate a boneless wing.
I was eating with a fork and knife. I cut, it was, and then you ever had something go down your wrong pipe? That's exactly what I thought.
He says his throat felt wrong, but he never suspected that he had a bone stuck in it.
And that's the bone right there.
It's part of a wishbone, and it went down without him noticing. He says it moved in such a way that it not only lodged in his esophagus, but punctured it. Berkheimer says anything he ingested was going through the hole into his chest cavity, causing an infection.
I had bacteria build up in my chest cavity the size of a softball laying on my heart.
Caused fevers, eventually a heart attack, collapsed one of his lungs, and before it was all said and done, he was placed in a coma twice. Berkheimer sued the restaurant and its suppliers, citing negligence.
We filed a complaint in the Court of Common Pleas in Butler County, March 1, 2017.
His lawyer, Rob Stokar, says a judge dismissed the case, so they appealed. For 8 years, that's been the cycle, all the way up to the Ohio Supreme Court. Last week, they ruled against Berkheimer for the final time.
The rulings to date have been that, as a matter of law, Mr. Berkheimer should have reasonably expected and guarded against the presence of the bone. And based on our position at all three levels, we believe that's wrong, and it's up to a jury to decide.
I spoke with the restaurant owners who did not want to do an interview. They did say they're glad the case is over after so much time, and they say they hope the decision protects small businesses from, quote, frivolous lawsuits. State Senator Bill DeMora has objected to the decision.
I think they're the only 4 human beings on the planet that can think that. But of course, it was outrageous. It was infuriating. It lacked all common sense.
He says he plans to introduce new legislation to make sure that anyone with a case similar to Berkheimer's has a chance to state their case before a jury.
Instead of an appeals court judge making this decision, and now the trial court, people will get their day in court.
Stokar says his client will likely never get another day in court, but they hope there might be a change in the process. Berkheimer says he supports anything that will keep someone from suffering.
I'm going to the psychiatrist for 8 years over this. It's just traumatized me. I mean, it's like I said, it's taken the joy from my family. I mean, thank God for the Lord and my wife, or I wouldn't have been here.
We only got it.
So Legislative Service Commission, that's a commission that helps lawmakers to draft bills, draft potential legislation. I'm told by Bill DeMora that he has put in for them to draft something up regarding this. He says it's going to take some time before they can do anything. He says likely the first time they can ever address it will be after the November elections. Live in Cincinnati alongside photojournalist Christopher Waldman, Brady Williams, Fox 19 Now.